Greetings, guys. My name is Osi, the Born Child, a certified, forex and crypto trading psychologist. So yesterday, as I was looking for a setup to take on one of the accounts that I manage, I actually found this AUDJPY setup telling me that it was ready for buys. But as my style of trading, I actually like maneuvering through all the entire market to make sure that I'm not buying into resistance zones and vice versa, that I'm not selling into support zones. You can call them supply and demand depending on the concept that you trade. But here we are trading pure price action, so we shall call it support and resistance. And now, when I landed on this setup, as you all can see, it was good to go on the 1 hour time frame. However, if you look back just on the 30 minutes to start with, you will tell that this level right here is a resistance zone. And you will come at me be like, so Osi, why are you breaking your own rules? To even further solidify this, if you go on the minute 15 still, you're actually going to tell that this is actually a resistance zone right here, because it has been pushing this market. It also pushed this market, pushed this market, pushed this market multiple times. So why did I actually end up, regardless, taking this buy trade? So in this video, you're going to know the power of higher time frame. And if you are interested in videos like this, please click the subscribe button, like, and come down in the comment section and tell me what you have to say, like in one of the videos or this particular video. So let's get started. But before we even do anything, let us first understand, why was I interested in this setup in the first place? Why did my gut feelings or instincts or my analysis, my technicals tell me to buy? So to understand that, let us first go back on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, you zoom this market like this, you are going to tell my friend that at some point, let me zoom it the way we can all see the bigger picture. And that is one of the concepts that I emphasize a lot when it comes, let me put it here where you can see it. So we have this point and this point where this market had its turning point from up to start climbing up. So it broke this this neckline of this double bottom, came down, like first created its first high point higher than this most recent swing high, came down, instead of breaking below to continue downwards, created a higher high point, higher high. Now started creating series of high highs, higher lows, high highs, higher lows, and somehow, somewhere around here, faced its resistance and came down like this, broke past this structure. But until we had completely seen a complete switch of structure, we could still call this market to be in an uptrend, because at the end of the day, we still have this big trend still holding. Let's put it like this so you all can see clearly. So we still have that bigger trend, which after this point, in fact, if you zoom into this point, you're going to see that this market was supported 2 times. So this point here will, be valid if you go on different time frames to check into the details of this area around here. So after this 1-2 point, this market came and respected this same level, and as much as it was declining a lot in this area. And now after this level again, this point did not even reach this point. You see, this point of this strong upward trend, but instead it actually created a new one, a new trend, because this point, as much as the structure could be respectful, end up forming a lower high that is actually on a new level. And now this market, we are going to zoom into this zone particularly to see why it was happening like that. So if you go into details of this area, you're going to tell that this market now came from this point and found some bit of resistance, as you can see, choppy price action right here. However, at the end of that, they ended up breaking this resistance zone of the trend line that was holding this market, and around here it broke. The not only break, you're going to notice that this candle somehow closed higher than this level right here of resistance, which means this zone and this zone had already been broken. Any other price action around this area was just a retest of this trend line, which this market actually did. That we had a break. Forget my accent, guys. I'm actually a thick accented person. So it broke past there, came back, now started chopping around. But regardless of any chops, it did not form a lower point. It just chopped in this zone like this. So all through this time, I'm watching this market. I'm going and coming back. I was looking to see if I get something that actually makes sense. And later on, the way they say, if you look for something, you find it. I found it. So that we have now this candle and this candle, which two candles. Now we are reading into details. Let me zoom even more to read into details. Now this is the pure beauty of perception that here just second guess what you do. You want to be sure. You want this market to speak to you. So what was this? This market gave us this candle, and on this candle, you can tell that sellers try to push below this market, but instead this week means that for the fact that it is forming on this trend line, which trend line was resistance and now being broken, means this is now a support trend line. When it came back to visit this trend line, buyers stepped in and pushed this market. See how it passed this one, and the gulp all the way up to here. So this market, it is safe to say that we had fully confirmed our break and the retest. So needless to say, whenever I'm trading, if I'm buying, this is where we started from. After finding a setup as beautiful as this, I want to go to the higher time frames to see that I am not buying in resistance zones and I'm not selling in support zones. So if you go to the 1 hour time, to the 4 hour time frame, you will tell that we had a clear zone right here. It means that box had been checked. Going to the daily time frame, I actually don't consider the full price action on the daily time frame. Trust me or not, if you're a day trader, all you need to see on the daily time frame are zones maybe, but what you have to look at to be specific or to look at keenly is just the behavior of the daily candle. And the daily candle on the daily time frame was bullish, as you all can see right here. But you will say that, how do you say that we don't have to look at the bias of the daily candle? The daily candle, daily trend altogether is too big of a trend. Of a trend for just a daily, for just a day trader. At least if you really must look into the price action of the daily trend, is maybe to look at the previous candle or two candles maximum. But if you choose to look at everything, because like now, you will tell that this is actually an overall downward trend. This could be a retracement, but I was actually buying. So I attempt on the daily time frame to check if one, I have a clear zone, if two, I also have a clear tradable zone. Now, for our daily, it all ticked. But now here is the trick. When you go skipping all the way to the 30-minute, on the 30-minute, this zone, to be safe, the way we trade, could have entered this trade right above here, knowing that we have fully, let me put this in a color that you all will see. This is like this. Yeah. So could have entered, if we are to enter the trade, only if we had price action above this zone. But why did I enter right here? Now this is called the power of higher time frame. What am I trying to say? I took this trade because I saw the setup on 1 hour time frame, and the time frames above it, that is 4 hour, daily, had clear tradable zones. Why did I not consider the 30-minute or all the time frames below? Is because I believe that 1 hour is too much stronger of a trend than 30-minute, 15-minute, or all that combined. You understand? I don't know. I believe and I know that any time frame higher, I respect that. But that's the same thing like you find someone taking trades all the way to 15 minutes, someone taking trades all the way to 30 minutes, and they look higher. So whatever that is under that time frame is less of an effect. I hope you are grasping what I'm trying to mean and where I'm coming from. So this video was all about to show you the power of higher time frames. The power of higher time frames. So we took a buy at this level, and guess what? At the end of the day, the strength of the higher time frames confirmed that indeed the higher the time frame, the stronger the trend or the stronger the moves. And that is it for this video, guys. Come down in the comment section and tell me, what do you think of this analogy of mine? Am I crazy? Or what would you do if you came across a setup like this? But otherwise, that was what I wanted to tell you and what I wanted to show you in this video. If you found it valuable, please come and subscribe to the channel, because there is more where this came from. And also, you can like this video if you found value in it. And still on the mission, I'm trying to get only, like I said, only 100 traders to mentor, or a few people that I can do business with. So if you're there, please contact me. My number is there, WhatsApp only, and we talk business or we talk mentorship. I don't want too much or big of a crowd of people who I cannot follow up with. I want people who we can connect on a personal basis, do business together, or even develop together, because at some point, somehow, somewhat, this whole thing is too lonely and gets boring up here. My name is Osi the Born Child. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all happy trading. Bye bye.